Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and is Mobius an older version of the teenage McDonald's employee named Jack in Oklahoma in Loki Season 2? Yeah, it's Walktober, so we can indulge our sweet tooth in a pretty crazy theory the same way Mobius treats himself to 2 helpings of pie in Loki Episode 2. Yeah, the pie is kind of part of all this. Didn't think we would, but we figured out the secret of the pie this season, as well as Mobius's possible origin that will account for Owen Wilson's adorably distinguished nose, his southern roots, his age, and we're gonna talk about how many lakes are jet skiable in Oklahoma. Okay, this is a theory that I pitched on Twitter early Friday morning after Loki Episode 2 dropped, and I think this theory is just so fun, so I wanted to dive into it here. And we should all celebrate Mobius and his love for pie with this Mobius shirt that you can get as part of our Loki collection at nerdriot.shop, which is really the best way to support us. Please and thank ya. Okay, the little we know about Mobius's life on the sacred timeline was his lingering obsession with jet skis. He reads a Wake magazine that in Season 1, Episode 2, he tells Loki to stop reading, and later that episode, he begins to wax poetic about the idea of jet skis.
In the early 1990s, for a brief, shining moment, there was a beautiful union of form and function, which we call the jet ski, and a reasonable man cannot differ.
You ever been on one?
No.
Mobius's love of jet skis returns in Season 2, Episode 1 when X5 dickishly finds this magazine and starts to taunt him for it.
Jet skis, sea-doos. One of these calling your name, Mobius?
I don't know about calling, maybe gently whispering. Oh yes, come take us for a little spin. You know, the funny thing about jet skis, everyone thinks that it's a personal watercraft, and it's actually a brand, same way Kleenex is.
And then in Season 2, Episode 2, X5 again gets under Mobius' skin about his history on the sacred timeline.
I mean, who even are you on the timeline? Do you know? Doesn't matter. I think it does matter because none of this is real.
Well, okay.
The TVA is not your real home. Mobius isn't even your real name.
Well, that's what I answer to.
Do you have any idea what kind of life you might have left behind? Who might be waiting for you back there? I mean, do you care?
And then later, Loki asks Mobius the same question in the TVA automat over a slice of key lime pie.
I mean, don't you want to see the life you're supposed to live before they kidnapped you and brought you into the TVA?
Not really.
Why?
Because it's not my life.
But it could have been.
It isn't. This is. I'd like to thank the guy who kidnapped me and brought me here. Got me this pie.
Yeah, this season is totally going to explore Mobius's past. Trailer footage shows Loki time-slipping into the parking lot of a Piranha Power Sports where you can see Mobius in the background buying or selling a jet ski. First, I thought he might have been a jet ski salesman, but I'm actually wondering if he could be buying, because the man he's talking to has a teal vest that matches the color of the store, and there's another woman with them, so that might be a wife or a girlfriend that Mobius left behind. The gentle whisper that he referred to. The real reason he open-hand slapped Brad, even if he wasn't aware why he was hitting him and why he was so mad. So how does Jack the McDonald's employee in Broxton, Oklahoma in 1982 fit in with this? Well, Owen Wilson was born in 1968. So in 1982, he would have been 14 years old. Owen and his brothers were born in Dallas, Texas. It's why they kind of have that folksy southern accent, though their voices have evolved over time into their own kind of weird, quirky sounding thing. But Owen Wilson is born and raised a southern boy. Now, Jack was introduced in the post-credit scene of Season 2, Episode 1 as a messy-haired, blonde southern boy with blue eyes and a friendly demeanor.
Well, you can try our new Chicken McNuggets, and we have a Big Mac.
And we kind of assumed that Jack would be a one-and-done character from there, but no, he returns in Episode 2, first when he tells Sylvie to refill the straws.
Hey, can you refill the straw dispenser when you get a sec?
Already done it.
Now you'll notice in this moment, Loki enters by himself at first. Mobius and X5 are not yet inside, but by the time they walk in, Jack has turned so that his back is facing them, and Mobius would not have seen his face. And only then at this point does Mobius say that he's going to get an apple pie, and he exits to the side, in the direction of the other register at the counter. Now, when I was a kid, family game nights were absolutely dominated by Monopoly. There's just always been something nostalgic about Monopoly for me, which is why I now play Monopoly Go. It's super easy to pick up and play. I normally do it while I'm heating up lunch or something. You can actually accomplish a lot in Monopoly Go, even if you're only playing for a few minutes. The game has a ton of new super fun features like land on a railroad, and you can actually go on a bank heist to steal money from your friends, or demolish one of their landmarks to steal its value for yourself. Take the money you get from destroying and heisting and use it to build an empire of your own in major cities around the world like New York and London. Build an empire of your own by clicking the link in the description and downloading Monopoly Go for free now. It's also interesting to note that Jack's line about refilling straws comes right after we cut from Mobius in the parking lot on the left side of the frame to Jack on the left side of the frame behind the counter. And then when we see Mobius in X5 later inside in the background, you can see Jack chatting with another cashier, and Jack is just out of Mobius's eye line, but he is right behind him. The two are kind of aligned. And it's likely that other cashier is the employee who would have taken Mobius's order, not Jack. Regardless, even if Mobius saw Jack, he barely remembers his past life. It's possible that he wouldn't recognize his younger self, especially if his younger self's appearance, his nose, has slightly changed. More on that in a bit. But there is an interesting moment at the end of the episode when we cut from Mobius on the left side of the screen in the chronomonitor bay as Jack exits the building on the left side of frame. So here he checks in on Sylvie.
Do you think he'll be in tomorrow, though?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Jack? Is your mum on her way to pick you up?
Yeah. If she'll be here, I'm good.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
So this series does not really want us to forget about Jack. This is in the same episode where they clearly want us to think about Mobius's past and the fact that Mobius had a different name, and we learned how Mobius loves pie and he loves McDonald's food. So yeah, the 1982 timeline matches up, the region of America lines up. Yeah, I think Jack could be a young Mobius. Now you may ask, wait, isn't Oklahoma landlocked? My friends, you don't need to take a jet ski on an open ocean or a Great Lake or a Gulf. Oklahoma has a ton of rivers and lakes. You can totally buy and use a jet ski in Oklahoma. But either way, Mobius told Loki in season 1, episode 2 that he never even rode a jet ski. This was just a dream that he always had. A dream that you could have from anywhere in America. It's just possible that this sweet, sweet boy from his teenage years grew up to finally one day be able to buy a jet ski, but that was the moment he was pruned. Heartbreaking! That being his final moment on the sacred timeline could be why he still has jet skis on the brain. And remember, in season 2, episode 2, in the Automat, he said he would like to thank the man who took him to the TVA so that he could eat this pie. Now, I don't know the context of this jet ski parking lot shot in the trailer, but it could be that the TVA agent who recruits Mobius could be Loki himself. Kind of like the theory at the end of Tenet that the mystery member of the Tenet organization who recruited Robert Pattinson's character was a protagonist played by John David Washington. Now, you may also ask, wasn't the Broxton McDonald's clearly marked on screen as part of the branched timeline? Yes, that's true, but that doesn't mean there wasn't a McDonald's Jack who existed in every timeline, including the sacred timeline or any branches. Also, by definition, all TVA employees were variants before they came into the TVA. Variants come from branch timelines that get pruned. So TVA Mobius got extracted from some branch. Now, there probably exists some variant of him on the sacred timeline, but that's not the one that got taken into the TVA. Jack is on a branch. Mobius came from a branch, since he's a variant. So if this theory is true, would they address Owen Wilson's unique nose? So when Owen Wilson was in high school in Dallas, he got in a fight and got punched in the nose, and then when he went to college at University of Texas at Austin, the nose got injured again while playing some football with friends. This reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when they included a moment when River Phoenix, who was playing young Indy, accidentally cuts himself on the chin with a bullwhip to justify the chin scar that Harrison Ford, as an actor, has always had. This season of Loki could do something similar, where poor Jack gets his nose injured in some silly way, like some altercation at McDonald's, maybe defending Sylvie in a fight, maybe he's got a rough family. I mean, they don't seem to be picking him up from work there. Maybe 10 years from now, our man will climb aboard a jet ski in a parking lot and fall on his face. Or maybe he will injure himself on a motorcycle and realize that there's a watercraft equivalent of a motorcycle in which falls don't hurt you as bad. Hey, let me know your thoughts on this theory in the comment below. We've been down this path before, and if it ends up not being true, it's fine. It's fine. I just think this is a fun theory to think about. Please support us with a Loki or a Mobius shirt from nerdriot.shop like this one. You can follow me at Erik Voss. Please subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye, everybody.